And then I come down from my sprint. I like to think about the fight game a lot as rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we want to wake up not only our body, but also get our mind thinking as well. After I get halfway, I'm going to switch. I'm going to keep your heels up. I'm going to go out to in, out to in, out to in. As soon as you get close to the floor, you're slapping the floor. When you do the lunge, I don't want the knee touching the floor because that takes the stretch out of the hip flexor. All right, everyone, let's go. All right, everyone, so before we start our session, I always like to first warm up, so I like to get my heart rate up. After that, I'm going to go into mobilization, then we're going to go into activation, and then after that, we're going to move into more of our sport-specific plyometrics, and then into our kicking session, all right, everyone? So I'm going to start the line, but we're going to start running counterclockwise. We'll go for about 20 laps, and then we're going to move on, all right, everyone? All right, when we finish our laps, we're gonna make 5 lines over here in the back. All right, everyone, so since we have our heart rate up, we started a little bit of a sweat. I like to mobilize now, so I feel nice and fluid throughout the workout. So this is called the world's greatest stretch, but you're gonna come out into a lunge. When you do the lunge, I don't want the knee touching the floor because that takes the stretch out of the hip flexor. I'm not going for a long passive stretch, just quick stretch out, so then that way I can really open up the hips. So I'm gonna come out, knee is trying to stay straight like a pencil. I'm gonna take one hand down to the floor. I like to keep it in a fist so I can push into the floor, and I'm going to take the other hand, come up, all the way around, and then come back. I'm not just using this arm to open up, I'm pushing into the floor actively to open up my thoracic spine. I'm gonna come down, take a few steps, other side, and then move on. You guys should be able to get about 6 reps down to that side, and then we're gonna move on to the next mobilization, all right, everyone? All right, so if I put my left foot on the floor, my right hand is going down on the floor as well. So it's not gonna be the same side, but the opposite side. Try to lock out that back knee so it's not touching the floor. So you get the hip flexor stretch as well as the spine. Try to straighten out this arm, and then eyes follow the hand. So eyes on this hand, and then that's gonna help you open up your body a little bit more. But this time I'm gonna go into a full depth squat. So I'm gonna come out, full depth squat, I'm gonna come down, right? I'm gonna have both hands up to the sky. When I go up to the sky, right, I'm gonna feel my upper back contracting. I want to contract my upper back, all right? I don't want to let my shoulders come up though. I don't want to let this become this. I wanna contract the upper back so that way it's all coming from the back. It's not coming from me lifting my shoulders, all right, everyone? So I have here, then I'm gonna take one hand down. I'm going to press into the floor just like earlier. I could make a fist as well. Open up the spine, same thing on the other side. And then I'm gonna come into my next rep. All right, everyone? Let's get 4 reps going down. Again, both hands up. We're gonna lock out the shoulders. Don't let them raise. I'm gonna come down into the squat. One hand into the floor, other side, and then move on to the next rep. All right, everyone? Let's go. So you're gonna come down into the squat, both hands up, and then you're gonna push one hand into the floor, open up, and then same thing, open up. And then when you do it, if your eyes follow the hand that goes in the air, it helps you open up your spine more. So if you follow it with your eyes, so eyes on this hand, then eyes on this hand. Oh, we're gonna do a quick hip opener this time. Going forward, we're gonna wait until everyone gets to that side, all right? But when we go forward, just like the classic Taekwondo knee up, but we're going to be going from the outside to the inside. So I'm working on opening up the hips. I'm gonna go out to in, out to in, out to in, out to in. And as I'm doing this, I'm also getting a nice warm up for my ankles. Because for Taekwondo, honestly, any athletic sport, right? But you always want to be up on your toes, unless it's like a cancel when you're lifting up and your heel is on the floor for the base, right? Other than that, in order to move dynamically, I need to make sure that my ankles are strong. So then that way, if I need to make a cut, if I need to change direction, right? I'm not going flat-footed and then coming off like this. I make the quick cut, my ankle is up, and I'm exploding. All right, everyone? So, like I said, we're gonna keep the ankles up the whole time. You don't wanna let them drop like this. It should be almost completely silent. So from here. All right, I'm gonna go all the way down, and then when we get there, I'm gonna go backwards, all right? But once you get down, you can wait there, and then we're gonna start together. Right, first line, let's go. one thing I like to recommend is, for me, I like to think about the fight game a lot as rhythm. So I grew up, my father, he was a musician, a drummer. He always made me play the drums. So whenever I'm listening to music, especially during my warm-up, I like to match the beat. I feel like this, during the fight, if you're able to have your own tempo in your head, that's really what allows you to create your flow, to get into that flow state. So again, I'm gonna go for these knees ups, but again, it helps me a lot if I keep my heels up, nice and stiff. I don't wanna have too much like not letting the heel touch the floor like this. I wanna keep them nice and high, make sure they're locked out. And then if you listen to the beat like this, I like to, one. All right, and I could play with it, right? I could play with it. If I want to go a little bit slower, I could still stay to the beat, or I could speed up, right? But the beat helps me stay nice and coordinated, all right? So we want to wake up not only our body, but also get our mind thinking as well. So try to stay coordinated with the beat. We're going to go one more time down, all right? So I don't want to see any 1, 2 like this. Try to stay in beat. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Go. Ariana, a little bit bigger of a circle. So that bottom pivot foot, if it opens up a little bit, it's gonna help you get a little bit wider of a rotation. Right? Same thing, we're gonna go backwards, all right? So backwards, same thing, I'm gonna go from inside to outward. One, two, nice. Heels up, nice. All right, everyone, so now we're gonna go halfway down is gonna be toe walks, and then halfway down is gonna be heel walks. And what I mean by that is, earlier I was talking about ankle stiffness. I wanna keep the heels nice and high, and I'm just going to tiptoe all the way down. I don't want any bouncing right now. We're not gonna have any rebound on this. I wanna keep them nice and high, locked out, like I'm in high heels. And then from here, I walk like a penguin almost. I keep my toes up, right? I'm gonna walk only on my heels like this, all right? So the first exercise is working on this ankle strength. Second exercise is working on the tibialis, this front part, all right? So halfway down, toe walks, halfway down, heel walks, and then we'll move into our plyometrics. Let's go. If you feel some wobbling, then you know that you need to work a little bit on your ankle strength. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to pogo jumps. I've seen a lot of athletes throughout my career and also online. When they do the pogo jumps, it's a little bit different for every athlete. But me, what I like to think of it is, everyone has seen a pogo stick, correct? You know what a pogo stick is, right? So you get that bounce, but a lot of times I see athletes, they keep their toes downwards like this. You don't want to keep it downwards. As soon as you touch the floor, you want to bring your toes back up. So remember that tibialis muscle we worked on? We're going to use the tib as soon as we touch the floor. And in order to cue that, or get that, get the concept in a little bit more understandable, you want to think that this is your foot. As soon as you get close to the floor, you're slapping the floor. You're not hugging the floor, you're slapping it and bringing it back up. So if you look at my feet, right, it's like I'm slapping. But when I plant, right, my heels are never touching. If my heels touch, I'm hugging the floor. I don't want to hug. I want to keep my heels up. I'm going to, as soon as I come up, right, my toes aren't pointed down. I'm pulling them up so that when I come down, I can slap, all right? So I'm going to start off with 5 over here. I go for 5 pogo jumps. I can use my arms to help my bounce, get some explosiveness. Then I can walk out. I'm gonna come over to the middle, do 5, and then 5 at the end. So 5, 5, and 5. All right, everyone, let's go. All right, and then last thing we're gonna do to warm up our ankles is we're gonna do single leg plyometrics. I'm gonna keep one leg in the air, and as I keep it, my back heel is never gonna touch the floor, all right? So like I said earlier, I don't want too much of bouncing from the ankle. I wanna keep it nice and stiff, and I'm gonna come all the way down. After I get halfway, I'm gonna switch, same thing. If you see, my heel is never touching the floor. I wanna get all the way down without any of that heel touches. In order to travel, right? If I want to travel like this, I have to be able to keep that ankle stiff, all right? So if you're not acclimated to the ankle strengthening drills, be careful, think about where you're placing your foot, because I don't want anybody rolling their ankle, all right, everyone? All right, right leg down, and then right leg down to half, left leg down to the end. Let's go. All right, everyone, so last warm-up drill. When I think about Taekwondo or fighting, I think a lot about deception. Or getting someone to believe I'm doing one thing and then I do the other. So that's why my fighting style, I'm not saying everyone has to fight like this, but me personally, I like to add a lot of fakes, motions, distance management. So one thing I use to just warm up the brain, right? If I work with you, if we're facing each other like this, it's just a warm-up drill, right? He's not allowed to chase me until I touch his shoulder. But I'm able to act like I'm touching his shoulder to get him off balance, to get him to get off beat, right? And then when I feel like I'm ready to touch and sprint down, that's when I do it, all right? We're gonna sprint not all the way down to the wall because I don't want anyone running into the wall, but I'm gonna go just about 3/4, all right? So from here, right? I just play with it. I stay nice and loose, right? I don't wanna be rigid. All the way down like this. Oh, and as I'm sprinting, his job is to try and catch me once I touch his shoulder, right? So we'll go one more time, right? So I want you guys to have fun with this, be playful. I'm going to come up, right? And then I come down from my sprint, and then I'm trying to get to the edge. Again, this doesn't have to be, thank you. This doesn't have to be too serious. My job is to just be nice and fluid, nice and, I like to say fluid like a wave, right? Because if I'm able to be fluid like a wave here, when I'm playing a game like this, then I come into my fight, same thing, right? I don't have to be too nervous, too rigid, right? I want to stay nice and loose, okay? Good work. Yes, sir. All right, so just face behind to your partner behind you, and then we're gonna go for one round here and then one round the other way. But if I'm bouncing like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's gonna be looking at me and he could read. So he comes in, and as he comes in, I'm shutting it down. It looks like I'm far, but I'm actually short. Acting like I'm coming in, and then I'm pulling out, all right? The reason that I've been able to stay in the game is because I work a lot on my footwork and my distance management.